Obedience in a nutshell is simply to hear an instruction and to do it. Now, there are different kinds of obedience. We know from what Abraham did, immediately he packed and he left. So his obedience was an immediate obedience. Is another kind of obedience that I will call the partial obedience. Partial obedience isn't really obedience in the eyes of God. You might as well call that disobedience, because we see that Abraham in that position obeyed and he did full obedience, and it was not partial obedience. Now, another kind of obedience is the delayed obedience, and obey that instruction as promptly and swiftly as God had given it to him. Now, delayed obedience is not the kind of obedience that God requires, because when God asks us to do anything, he goes to seek what's in our heart. Are we going to obey him fully? Are we going to obey him immediately, or are we going to delay the obedience? There's another kind of obedience. It's called the sacrificial obedience. So, and then there's a final one, which is the unwilling obedience. That's the one we do usually. Most of us are guilty of that. We do it grudgingly. We do it grumpily. We have an attitude. We still do it eventually, but we do it like we don't get it. What's God thinking? What was on God's mind? I mean, really? Sometimes God doesn't know when to stop. You know, that kind of attitude that we can sometimes have. Abraham didn't have delayed obedience. He didn't have partial obedience, and he didn't have sacrificial obedience. Neither did he have unwilling obedience. The book of Isaiah says that if we are willing and we are obedient, we shall eat the good of the land. And I believe that can be said of every one of us if we go about obedience to godly instruction with this attitude. Let's be willing. Let's be prompt. Let's not be partial, and let's not have a scheme on a replacement. God is all wise. At the end of every instruction, he's got a benefit. He's got a reward for us. And just like Abraham, if we are willing and obedient, we'll eat the good of the land. Now, everyone knows Abraham. His name's written in the Bible. Abraham's gone on to become the father of many nations. Now, I don't know what your instruction is today. God instructed you a year ago. You still haven't obeyed. Some of us received an instruction a week ago, and we're still pushing it forward. You know, whether you delay it or you don't, there is a reward for it.